Okay guys, so I just want to do one more video on the worksheet on conditional probability. So looking at this question, all of these kind of questions down here, finding these probabilities, I'm hoping that my previous video will help with those. But I just want to go through how we actually fill in this Venn diagram, because this question's slightly different, slightly harder, and I know it's tripped a few people up. So given that y and p are two events, and the probability of y is 0.57, the probability of p is 0.50, and the probability of y or p is 0.84, we need to fill in this Venn diagram. So this is slightly harder than if this was a y and p, because this y or p, that includes everything here, okay? So everything in these two circles. So this circle and this circle, everything in there is y or p. Now if we think about it, if we had y or p, we'd add up this section, and this section, so that would be three sections added up. But if we worked out y, we'd add this section and this section. If we worked out p, we'd add this middle section and this section. So what we'd end up doing, if we added y and we added p, I'm going to come up with four sections. I'm going to have this section and this section, then I'm going to have this section and this section. So I'm going to count this section twice. So if I add these two together, I've actually added this middle one twice. If I take this one, this is just the three sections. So what I can do, I can add these two together, take away this, and that will tell me what is in my middle section, because it's effectively what has been added twice. So what I'm going to do 0.57 add 0.5 gives me 1.07, and then I'm going to do 1.07 take away 0.84. Okay, so I'm going to do my y and my p added together to give me 1.07. So I've added the y and the p. Then I'm going to take away this y or p. I'm going to take away the y or p, which is going to give me 16 and 7, yeah, 23. Therefore, that is going to be 0.23 inside of this section. So my middle part is going to be 0.23. I can then find out my probability of p was 0.5, so I take 0.23 away from the 0.5. That'll give me 0.27. From this one, I take 0.23 away from the 0.53, and I'm left with 0.34. So I've now completed the 0.34, 0.23, 0.27. So you need to add those up and take them away from 1 to get what's on the outside. So I know that this is 0.5, add on 0.34, so that's 0.84. So this is going to be 0.16 outside. So that's how we find out what's going to be in each section if we have these bits of information, if we have the y, the p, and then the y or p. And the reason we did this part here, just to go over it one more time, we knew that y or p would be this section, add this section, add this section. We knew that if we had y, we'd count this section and this section. If we had p, we'd count this section and this section. So if we added y and p together, we'd add the y, so this one and this one, then we'd add p, this one and this one, and we'd effectively have counted this middle one twice. We'd have this one twice, and then this one. Because y or p equals this one, or this one, what I can do is take these two added together, so 1.07, take 0.84 away from that to give me 0.23, and that is therefore what is repeated twice, is my 0.23 in there. Okay, so if you ever get a question where you have your two probabilities, you have the probability or, so y or p, what you can do is you add these two together, take the probability or away from these two, and that will give you the section in the middle, which is effectively counted twice when you add these two together. Okay. Then from there, I can then go on and find out probability of y and p, which obviously might be my 0.23, and the probability of y given that p. So therefore, in that one, like I said in my previous video, the p here is just looking at this section. So I'm just looking at this section here, and then I'm looking at, out of these, which part is my y, which is this 0.23. Okay, hope that helps.